Just an American Indian enjoying his homeland while these descendants of pilgrims and colonizers are enjoying my homelands. Land back all day, every day. Land back, right guys? Land back? This should be my people's fucking home.
Brother, check the scoreboard. You guys got your asses whooped. Maybe your people should have fought harder. Now you're speaking English on a cell phone that a white man invented.
I said it because Henry Sampson, a black genius inventor, patented and invented the gamma ray process, which uses radio waves to transmit and receive audio signals, which is what makes cell phones able to communicate with each other, and changed all our lives significantly.
Talk shit to these old people. This is our land. Motherfucker, come get this land back then. Land back. Land back. Did you know that we purchased most of this land? Fuck you. I'm an American native. How about
Stop
that?
calling all white people colonizers. Irish, Italian, Slavs, and Jews were not even considered white under certain racial systems at different points in history. Large parts of Eastern Europe and the Balkans spent centuries dealing with invasion, famine, war, and political...
Let this be a lesson to everyone who don't fall in line. Next time, it'll be your leg boy. King Leopold of Belgium is the cause of this evil, and all European nations stood by and allowed this evil to continue.
Never forget and never trust your enemy, no matter how nice they pretend to be. They cut off my hand and foot because my father did not meet the rubber quota that King Leopold set. Then they mock us by making hand-shaped chocolate and profit off our suffering. Never forget.
I am made a spectacle for them. They place me behind cages like animals because that's all I am to them as they stare at me in amazement. This is a human zoo. Never forget.
Dance for us, Blackie!
Imagine owning an entire country and everyone in it. That was the Congo. And one man owned it, King Leopold II of Belgium. He called it a gift to the African people. It was a death camp the size of a continent. He wanted rubber, and he turned a whole nation into slaves to get it. Every village was given a quota. Fathers were sent into the forest for days, bleeding the rubber vines by hand. And if they came back with too little, the soldiers were waiting. They burned the villages. They took the women hostage until the men returned. And to prove no bullet was wasted, they cut off a hand for every shot fired. Baskets of small hands. Children who would never hold their mothers again. Some bled to death. Some starved. Some simply gave up. 10 million human beings worked, starved, and mutilated for rubber. And the king who did it? He died rich. He died free. History tried to bury them. We won't. A man who murdered 10 million people still has statues standing in his honor today.
For periods of history, millions of Europeans lived in poverty with little power or wealth.
While Europe was stumbling through the dark ages, no running water, no street lighting, open sewers in the streets. A civilization from North Africa arrived in Spain and spent 800 years showing Europe what civilization actually looked like. They were called the Moors, Muslim people of North African origin who crossed the Strait of Gibraltar in 711 AD and established Al-Andalus, what we now call Spain and Portugal, while the rest of Europe lived in mud and timber with no concept of hygiene, no universities, no street lighting and open sewers running through their cities. Cordoba, the Moorish capital, became the most advanced city on earth. It had a population of over 1 million people, paved streets lit by oil lamps at night, running water through underground pipes to every neighborhood, and a level of personal cleanliness that the rest of Europe would not achieve for another 500 years. The Moors built over 900 public baths across Al-Andalus. They introduced soap-making toothpaste and the concept of washing hands before eating to a continent that had none of these things. There is a Moorish saying recorded from this period: a Moor would rather go without bread than without soap. The library at Cordoba held 400,000 volumes. The largest library in Christian Europe at the same time held a few hundred manuscripts. Students came from France, Germany, and England, including future popes, to study in Moorish Spain, because it was the only place in Europe where real education existed. The word algebra comes directly from the Arabic ul-jabr. The Moors brought algebra algorithms, the decimal system, and the concept of zero to Europe. Without these, there is no science, no engineering, no modern world. Their physician Abul Qasis wrote a 30-volume medical encyclopedia that became the primary medical textbook in European universities for 500 years. Cordoba had street lighting while London and Paris were pitch dark and running open sewers through their centers. In 1492, the Spanish Reconquista drove the Moors out. Ferdinand and Isabella launched the Inquisition. They burned the libraries, demolished the architecture, rewrote the history books. The 800-year civilization that had kept Europe's lights on was reduced to a footnote or erased entirely. Then something interesting happened. The Renaissance began. The explosion of art, science, and philosophy that Europe calls its greatest achievement. Built almost entirely on the knowledge that the Moors had preserved, expanded, and passed on. Academics now credit Moorish contributions as the direct foundation of the European Renaissance. The Alhambra Palace is still standing in Granada today, one of the most beautiful buildings on earth, built by the people history tried to erase. 800 years, and your history books gave them a footnote.
Europe is not a monolith. During the colonial era, not every European country was rich, powerful, and conquering the world together. Only a handful of empires drove most overseas colonialism. Yes, colonialism was awful. Human beings have done horrible things throughout history, and even today. But blaming every white person for the actions of a few imperial powers is simply wrong and historically inaccurate. Stop rewriting history to fit a narrative so you can justify racism against people who don't look like you.
Two types of racism in this country, because everything in America KKK is a binary construct. So is the racism that they created, because remember, race didn't exist until America KKK. There's mine. That would be the inherent racism that all white people are born into because of the color of our skin, giving us privilege and power immediately. Now, white women, we have to work a little bit. We're not allowed to have power over our own lives or over white men, so we were given white supremacy as a weaponry. We can utilize it over every other demographic of people that do not look like us, without accountability, consequence, and we never have to change. That is inherent racism. Internalized racism is what people who do not have my whiteness have. You think your proximity to whiteness will protect you, give you power, give you privilege, and it will. We give you that smoking mirror for as long as we want to use you and abuse you, but at the end, you are not white, and we will never forget that. Hope that helps.
That the white man brought civilization here. I'm stunned how you were happy for the colonizers.
You got me wrong.
Okay.
I never said I'm happy for the colonizers. I said they left too soon. Things were not particularly or better in place before they left. I mean, they came too early and left too soon. Things were not in place before they left. And the structure that they laid for us were not actually in place before they left. That's why I said they left too soon. I didn't say I'm happy about their coming.
Okay, but you wish that they would have stayed longer.
They would have stayed longer to ensure that the people that they were grooming are actually mature to run their affairs themselves.
But do you think the colonizers cared?
Of course they do.
You think the colonizers give a damn about Africa and Africans?
Of course they do. If they don't, they wouldn't come to ensure our eyes are open to see other things that we're enjoying today. So
like what? What benefit did the colonizers bring?
The exposure is one of the benefits.
The exposure of what?
Yes, it's something of life. I now know how to dress better, on how to think, on how to travel and other things. These are the ideas the colony brought. Otherwise we would not know. So our eyes are now open to see things that are meant to be superficial or beyond somebody's imagination, but we cannot see it. So these are the benefits of the colony.
Okay, so the colonizers helped you dress better and eat better and travel, and they brought their languages.
They brought exposure to us.
Exposure.
Yes.
So before the white man, Africa was unexposed.
Yes, it's not a news.
Is Africa not the original man? Is Africa not the one who who spread civilization across the world? Are the Moors not the people who went over to Spain to show them how to cook their meat and how to light fire?
Yeah, but they were not the people who spread civilization. It was the white people that spread civilization.
Were there not 15 dynasties that existed? Was Timbuktu not a thriving... Oh my goodness. Were there not 15 dynasties that existed thriving in Africa before the colonizers came? Did they not come and destroy Timbuktu and any semblance of any type of educational system or forum here in this land? Did they not destroy the books and the culture and the history? You think that the white man brought civilization here?
Yes, but they didn't destroy our culture. We destroyed our culture ourselves. They set a tomb for the culture. We destroy it ourselves.
God looked like. The reality of it is when he came here, he didn't look like me. So what am I going to do about that? I'm going to make him look like me. So for hundreds of years, we've been telling you, and now you have to keep in mind that we took away any other God that you might have through force, through fear, through pain, through any means necessary. So now I'm going to give you a God, but I'm going to do that in a way that it's going to further me. So I'm going to give you a God that looks like me, so that when you bow down to that God, you're bowing down to me. Because the reality is, the Bible tells us what Jesus looked like when he walked here. The Bible tells us what he's going to look like when he comes back. We have taken that and changed it. Do you remember when Jesus went to Egypt? He hid in Egypt. The people in Egypt, honey, they're not white people. How could he hide that? See, so that we've done that. We've given your people a God that looks like me, so that you don't have any qualm about bowing down to me. See, because this is the image of God. I don't know of any sin that we've committed that's greater than that.
We went to a church yesterday. We were teaching outside. As soon as the church heard Jesus was black, they were infuriated. We've just read in the scripture. They got so mad, they threw rocks. Why? Because a lot of you in Kenya hate yourself. You hate the way you look. You hate anything black. Why? Because it upsets your European colonizers.